right, hello and welcome to this Frank's World TV live stream. We're streaming across multiple platforms: X, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and of course LinkedIn. If you're watching, be sure to give a like, subscribe, comment if you're watching us live. If you're watching us on a replay, comment replay. So today is April 2nd, and it is not only Neurodiversity Awareness Month. I know I totally butchered the name. But also today is World Autism Awareness Day. And I know Candace has a lot of thoughts about neurodiversity. She has neurodiversity marketing is kind of her specialty. She's a marketing guru, marketing genius. And I think autism is one of those things where I think people are just becoming aware of it. And before I forget, I just want to do a quick plug for a friend of mine who is raising autistic sons, and she is on a podcast tonight, like a live stream, 7 p.m. East US, 6 p.m. Central. So definitely check that out if you wanted to do that. She's an awesome person, and I met her kids. Her kids are awesome, and figured I would give her a free plug in the first couple of minutes of this stream.
Oh, that's lovely. It's very generous and totally on brand. So I love it. I love it. Yeah. So I just wanted to just talk a little bit today. I know we normally are talking about quantum computing, and I just really wanted to talk about the future, the next Generation Z, Generation Alpha, and talk about what are their abilities early on and what that can lead to, and with these neurodiverse um, diagnoses going on out there. I really kind of wanted people to understand that there is a tremendous space in quantum, for example, for people who are high functioning with autism, right? You think about what makes them really unique and gifted is, for example, their ability to hyper focus on deep topics and dive in and really unpack it. You know, um, their ability for pattern recognition is incredibly valuable when it comes to quantum computing.
And
Uh,
usually memory is like a steel trap, right? Like almost
Absolutely,
photographic memory, like that tends to also come kind of with it too. Um,
absolutely. And
so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no. So I think that a lot of, as a parent now, I kind of understand what my parents kind of said and did. And, I actually had dinner with Danielle. This is I'll plug it again. Um, but she was talking about how she's worried about her kids and what their future looks like. And then I was like, if you really think about it, um, careers in technology, they require all the things you just said. And the way you listed out is the way I listed to her. I'm like, the ability to sit and focus on a deep problem in front of a screen for hours on end and stick with it until you solve it. That is not, I wouldn't say it's not normal, but it's not common, right? And these are all things that I think that you and I discussed this on the live stream yesterday, where, you know, autism is seen as almost as like a disorder or a disability and all these, like stigma attached to, I think, that diagnosis, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it exists.
No, absolutely, there's a
Right.
stigma
I just,
attached to
I'm not
diagnosis.
for you, but like for the audience, right? Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying,
no,
but
that's fair. I mean, the fact that I purposely use the word diagnosis as opposed to the other word that I don't use.
I
Um,
forget what word that is, but you'll have to
that would be that
private
would be
chat me. Private chat me if you want. But a diagnosis or disorder, is that the?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, right? And that's, to me, that could be two sides of the same coin, right?
and I
And
also tell. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, so saying, and then, and as like the coin flips in the air, right? Very quantum
Right.
of me, right?
Yeah, it's
And
very
you don't
common. It's
know what
both.
really state that we're in as it's spinning in the air. Is it
There you
is it
go.
is it heads? Is it tails? Is it both? Right?
Right, and it can
So
be both.
it
Right.
can be both.
I had a interesting conversation with a colleague last week, and I don't want to use his name because I don't want to out him, right? Like, because like there's still like a shame around this, right? And he's very, at least in conversational, very open about it. He goes, "It's not a disorder if it doesn't impact your life or prevent you from doing things you need to do. It's not a disorder." So you can't really have it as a disorder. I thought that was an interesting way to look at it. I mean, there certainly are people who have extreme difficulty functioning and they need additional help, like whether that help is, you know, medical help, extreme kind of behavioral interference, that does exist. It's a, you know, I think the more I've learned about it, more I've looked into it, and I've not really looked into it much, but it really is a spectrum, right? There are people that just have a, you know, have a little bit of tendencies like that, and there's people who have high tendencies of that. And you know, I've used the word high functioning a couple of times, and some people don't like that word either, right? Because it implies that people that functioning is something that they lack. Or I don't know, but I think,
Function by whose definition? You know what I mean?
well, exactly, right. And then, like
All
in
of
this
this
day and
mess,
age,
it's ridiculous.
everybody gets offended by something, right? And it's c'est la vie, as they would say in
Exactly,
Canada.
unless you're Generation X and you don't really care,
That's a problem. The world needs more Gen X because
right?
that more of that Gen X kind of outlook on life. But I mean, to your point, like if you're a parent, honestly, first off, if you work in technology, you absolutely know someone who's autistic, whether or not they mask it, whether or not they talk about it openly. You absolutely freaking know someone. And I also encourage you. I'm not getting paid to plug this guy's book. Dave Plummer has a book on Secrets of the Autistic Millionaire, and like you read kind of his story about how he goes along and how he kind of discovered that he has it, and kind of all these little anecdotes from his childhood on up. It's kind of like, you know, it's way more common than I think we've been led to believe. Because I think, I don't know. I want to get your take on this. Hot take, because we didn't discuss this in the virtual green room. Rain Man, did that do more harm or good for the awareness of autism?
Oh, I think it was good.
I think it was good. I think it also, though, stigmatized it
Sure.
as
But it
well.
also
But
it brought the conversation into many more people's,
mhm,
vernacular. And that is, yeah, so, does everyone think that, when someone has autism, they're like Rain Man? And, I think that, yeah, a lot of people thought that like 20, 30 years ago, but I think
right,
now that we're the parents, um, we just have a different mindset about it. We understand that that's
right,
ridiculous. That's not, that was what he was good at and where he found comfort it
right,
with, with his diagnosis. So, and that is why I feel that awareness is about the comfort of
right,
not just the person who lives with the diagnosis, but also for everyone that's around the person with the diagnosis.
right.
They have to just be more comfortable. So I know we're short on time.
We are short on time because of other commitments, but I didn't want the day to go by without encouraging
Absolutely.
people to look at it again with an open mind. I myself was very skeptical of autism being a thing, and then the more I kind of looked into it, I think part of it is too. I'm not going to name anyone because I don't like lawyers and I don't want to get involved in any. But there have been national organizations that were promoting it, and they got into some shenanigans, and I think gave it the community a bad name. Um, I think you all can figure out who I'm talking about, but
But we'll
uh,
leave it at
we'll leave it
that.
at that. No, but like, you know, I would see kind of things they would do and kind of things, and it the way I saw them approach things. And I know there are other shenanigans that they were accused of, but the way I saw it, the way that the messaging, the way it landed in my head, again, could just be, you know, I like to say you know, I live in Frank's world, and not all of it is a good neighborhood. Uh, um, but they made it seem like it was something to be pitied, researched, and fixed. That was the vibe I got from their marketing. I don't know if that is what they thought, but that's the message that landed with me. But then I read Dave Plummer's book again, not getting paid by it. You know, I do hope one day he will be on either the Impact Quantum podcast or the other one. But you know, I would look at it with fresh eyes without the stigma you may already have, and you kind of realize like this is way more common than we've been led to believe. And it doesn't have to be as drastic as the character in Rain Man, which was based on a real person. Um, um, it's very real. Is basically what I want to walk away with.
Yes, and
And
it's good to be aware, and it's good to be open and accepting,
just be
and
nice.
knowing
That's just the
be
good
nice.
policy anyway. I
It's not
literally
selfish.
just a minute ago posted like politeness never goes out of style, like on LinkedIn.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the silliest thing, but, like, when my son got one of his first jobs and he was working, at the fast food joint, and he's like, "The people that say hello or good morning," it actually makes them smile because just a little bit of kindness
just not a lot,
goes a long way.
not a lot
There
to go out of your way. And with
there
that,
you
we got to
go.
close the stream because
Great.
I wish I had more control over my time, but
Now
save everyone.
we have another recording to head to.
That's right. All right. Bye.
Alright.